so that we could enjoy our body working in a balanced way. Okay, so we'll start on the mat in a kneeling position, placing your hands on your hip bones, just massaging them slightly, and feel the way it releases the tension in your creases of your hips, at the front of your hips right here. So gently massaging them, pulling up and down. Make sure you're not arching your lower back. It stays neutral. Your shoulders are open and your head is reaching up toward the ceiling in a nice long way. So very gently around your hip bones. And now we are going to slide your pelvis to the side. We're not pushing it back yet. We are sliding it to one way and then the other. You can push with your hands just to create that sensation, to feel what it feels like. We're not bending our sides. Okay, we're keeping them long, maintaining that length along both sides of your body. So one side and then the other. If your knees don't feel comfortable, feel free to place a cushion under your knees. And then you might want to do it without holding with your hands. Just slight sliding motion with your pelvis. And two more. Your pubic bone is getting pulled up toward the bottom ribs. And last one. Awesome. Now we're going to push one hip diagonally backward, lowering our buttocks closer to the heel, and then the other. So we're pushing and lengthening our gluteal area. We're not pushing it back, straight back, but in a diagonal line. So towards your left and towards your right heel. Maintaining nice and long spine, hinging at the hips. Make sure you're not rounding your back. And keep breathing. Inhale into the stretched area and push that mat backward with your knees to come up to the starting position. And open up your front hip area when in the starting position. Again, reach, hinging at your hip and feeling the stretch in your glute. And then switch in the other one. You might want to place a hand and feel it. Pausing briefly. And push with the knees, the mat backward, giving a nice safe stretch to your glutes. And one more on each side. Your shoulders are down. Your head is in line with your upper back. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to bend to the side, but it's not bending when you fold. It's a long bending, as if you are a bamboo plant. You're not staying nice and long. You're not allowed to break. You reaching up to the side, and then when you feel end of range of your motion, you're going to rotate your rib cage out to the side slightly, feeling a nice activation of your lower abdominals, of your oblique muscles, and coming back up. Again, long, nice stretch. Slow rotation. As you're rotating to your right, you're pressing that left knee into the floor and feeling the activation of your entire side. Again, long, nice and long, lean, and then out. Keeping that length, keeping your lower back neutral, lengthening away and rotating only as far as it feels comfortable. And last one. Awesome. Switching sides. If you want to take a break, roll your shoulders backward and forward. Exhaling. Don't forget to breathe while doing the exercises. And again, switching sides, lengthening the entire side of your body from your hip all the way to your shoulder. Long lower side as well. And we forgot, one more time, and then we're rotating. We are not leaning back. Keep your lower back safe. And returning back to the starting position. Your shoulder blades are down, lengthening away as if with the top of your ear up toward the ceiling. And rotation. And pressing that knee into the floor and come up. So now as we're rotating to the left, we're pressing the right knee into the floor to engage the entire spiral chain of your body. 3 more, nice and long. Keep breathing. Rotation, pressing the knee into the floor, shoulders down, slowly return. No rush. 2 more. Long, no bending, just lengthening. Rotation. And up. And last one. Slowly and with control. Coming back up. Great job. Again, let's shrug our shoulders, squeeze them as hard as you can, and release. Squeeze and release. 3 more. And last one. Great. Now we'll warm up our back line for a bit. So what we'll do, we're going to hinge at our hips and push our hips back, at the same time opening up our sit bones. Okay, so spreading them apart. Then at your lowest point, we're going to tuck that tailbone under. Feel a nice stretch in your lower back, expanding the entire lower back area, and then pushing those knees, pushing the mat with the knees backward and uncurling. Keep pushing those knees, opening up the entire front thigh, front hip area, coming back to neutral. Again, hinging at your hips, pushing them back, opening up your sit bones, tucking that tailbone under, feeling the lower back filled out, pressing those knees back along the mat, and coming back up to neutral. Make sure to bring your chin parallel to the floor and gazing slightly in a diagonal in front of you. Okay, and keep going. Pushing those hips back. Open up sit bones. Feel them spread apart. Tucking that tailbone under slowly and smoothly. Pushing the mat backward with your knees. And uncurling one vertebra at a time, pulling that pubic bone towards your lower ribs. And open. Keep breathing. Feel the sit bones spreading apart. Now coming back together as you're tucking your tailbone under, pushing with the knees, opening up the entire front thigh and hip area, and also your collarbone. And 2 more times. Feel the sit bones opening up, tucking under, pushing the mat backward, opening up and lengthen. And tuck. 1 vertebra at a time, slowly and with control. Awesome. And last time. Pushing those hips back. Tucking the tailbone under. Chin to chest. And slowly coming back up to the starting position. Now we're going to lie on your side, lie down on your right side. Your elbow is under your shoulder. We're not leaning back, we're not leaning forward, we're just staying straight on our side. And we're gonna lift our leg. If you want, you can place your hand, under, support your head with your hand. Probably it's even better. And now what we're going to do, we're going to lengthen that leg out of your hip joint so that it slides parallel to the floor, along the floor, away from the body, and then suck that thigh bone into your pelvis by bringing the hip bone higher up. So it's sliding down your hip bone and up. So you can place your hand on the hip bone and feel the way it's sliding away and back closer towards your waist. Okay, now as we're lengthening away, we're going to rotate the thigh out so that your knee turns a bit toward the ceiling. Your toes are relaxed and flexed. And then as you pull it in, you're rotating the thigh inward so that the toes pointing slightly toward the floor. Again, rotating the thigh out and lengthening it away, and then pulling that in and rotating the thigh in. And slowly out. We're not helping with the lower back. The movement's happening only at your hip. Ball and socket joint, where the head of our thigh bone is rotating within the socket of the pelvis. And rotating in and pulling it in to your pelvis. And last one. Pulling it out, rotating outward and inward, pulling it into the pelvis. Great job. Now we're placing it down, bending the knees slightly, and just sway it from side to side to release any tension in your pelvis and lower back. Okay, great. Now what we're going to do, we're gonna bring the knees closer to your body at about 90-degree angle. I'm gonna lift that knee off, so it's my left knee, and we're going to keep it off. We're not gonna place it down throughout the exercise. Okay, so now as we are moving, we're going to move with the rib cage forward, and as we are doing this, the thigh is going to move backward and we're going to rotate it inward. And then as we're returning to the starting position, bringing the knee over the lower knee and kind of reaching forward with the top of your shin. So you're reaching forward across the room. Again, rotating your rib cage toward the floor, and the inner thigh rotates inward. The knee is approaching, turning toward the floor, and then bringing it in parallel. If you want, you can even rotate it back. That's a nice, if it feels comfortable in your lower back. Okay, again, rotating, spiraling motion. Thigh goes in, knee is facing the floor, bringing it back to parallel, reaching forward with the top of your shin, and go as far back as it feels comfortable for your lower back. 3 more times. Rotation of your thigh, rotation of your rib cage, and back, reaching forward with your shin, and couple more. Feel a nice stretch all along the side of your body, your lower back, your spine. Maybe you can turn that thigh even more inward, and you're pressing with the outer thigh of the leg that's on the floor for support. And parallel, still not placing it on top of the lower leg, rotating backward, and last one. Forward toward the floor. You're kind of, you turning the thigh in and kind of reaching that knee away from your hip. So lengthening your thigh and reaching forward with the top of your shin bone as you're twisting your upper body back. Okay, placing it back, giving it a bit of a rest. 1 full breath in and long breath out. And now we are ready to switch sides. Okay, we'll start with the same exercise, nice and long position. Again, you can support your head with your hand, stretching out those legs and lifting that leg on parallel to the floor, and again lengthening it away. If you need, place your hand on the hip bone and feel it sliding away from your waist and coming in closer, as if your pelvis sucking in your thigh bone, and lengthening it away, feeling it in your lower back and in. Now as we're lengthening it away, we are rotating that thigh inward, and then as we're sucking it in, we're rotating it outward and in and out. Your head is relaxed. You might want to put a yoga block under your head if you feel like it's not stable and you're accumulating tension in the neck area or head area. Your jaw is relaxed as well, rotating that thigh in and out, pulling it in toward the pelvis, pulling it away. Someone's pulling your leg away from your pelvis and in toward it. And 2 more times. Rotation at your thigh. Last one. Keep breathing. Awesome. Now we're placing it down. Again, just knees are slightly bent and on top of each other. And we forward and back to release the tension. Now we're bringing the knees in at about 90-degree angle at your hips and at your knees. We're lifting that knee up, and we are going to Rotate, bring that rib cage, the breastbone toward the floor as we moving, rotating the thigh in and moving the knee to face the floor. And also imagine you pulling, you're reaching with the top of your shin across the room toward the opposite wall. So lengthening it again away from your pelvis, feeling the release in your lower back area. And we are coming, we'll better lengthen that arm, the bottom arm, and rotating it backward. Again, forward. We'll just bend it, I guess, and keep it comfortable, whatever feels comfortable to you. Reaching forward with the top of your shin and across the room. Pausing briefly to feel the stretch. Again, rotating toward the floor, rotating that thigh in, and reaching toward the opposite wall. And out, opening up, reaching forward with the top of the shin, and 3 more. Rotating as comfortably in as possible, and reaching forward with the top of your shin, and rotating backward. 2 more times. Pressing that lower leg into the floor for support and to return to the starting position. And last one. Awesome. Bringing it back and feel a nice stretch along your lumbar area, your lower back, while reaching forward with the top of your shin, the top leg, and bringing it back to the starting position. Press floor, bring yourself up, and we're going to sit on your, find our sit bones, wiggle from side to side, spread our legs wide apart, as wide as it feels comfortable. If not, keep your knees bent, that's totally fine. And we are going to wiggle from side to side onto one sit bone and then the other, releasing the tension in the pelvic area. Think about just releasing it, not the way your muscles work, not how to create that effort to move, but just releasing the tension, the stiffness, releasing your thigh muscles. And if you feel comfortable, you can slowly move, hinge at your hips, and move your pubic bone, reaching with your pubic bone toward the floor. Not bending at your waist or your upper back, keeping your spine nice and long and hinging at your hips. And keep wiggling in a comfortable way. And slowly and gradually lowering your upper body. As I said, thinking of approaching your pubic bone toward the floor rather than your chest or head. Keep going, keep breathing. Your shoulders are down and relaxed. Go only as far as it feels right for you. No pain whatsoever, not even close. You feel strain, you can't release anymore. You have to go up higher a bit. The focus is to release. And slowly, we're going to lift our upper body up, gradually taking it higher and higher. Choose the comfortable position of your hands. Feeling your sit bones again. Coming back up, decreasing the range of motion. Inhaling right here and exhale. Inhale one more time and exhale. Now taking your left foot in the center, stretching and lengthening away from your body, your right hand behind your head. Push that mat, that floor away from your body with your elbows soft and rotate your rib cage to the side and then the other way so that you bring your elbow to the floor while rotating with your rib cage, the top part of your rib cage. Again, pushing the floor away, rotate and bring your elbow, create nice length along your right side of the body if your right hand behind the head. One more time, push the floor away with your elbow soft and in. Awesome. Now switch sides. Your right hand is on the floor. Your left is behind your head. Make sure you're not bringing your shoulders towards your ears. Push that floor away nicely and firmly and rotate the rib cage and then rotate it the opposite way and placing your elbow if you can on the floor. If not, you can just let it hang in the air or take a thick book and place it in the spot where your elbow lands. Remember, we're keeping our spine long, opening up our sit bones wide apart from each other and reaching forward with your pubic bone. As you rotate your upper body, last one. Awesome. Great job. Now place your elbows on the floor, your forearms, and if you can, just wiggle from side to side. If you feel tension in this position, straighten your arms and bring your hands closer towards yourself. And down, push the floor away up, and bend your elbows, and up, down, and slowly back up. Heel in, the other heel in. Again, wiggle from side to side. And let's do rotational circular motion from one knee to the other and reverse. As you're coming to an upright position, pull up with the top of your head toward the ceiling. Nice. Now we're going to inhale, exhale, rotate to one side. Inhale, rotate to the other. And inhale, back to center. Give yourself a nice hug. Thank you so much for joining the workout. This is the end of it. I hope to see you next time on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I hope you enjoyed this workout and have a wonderful weekend. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.